Okay, Matt, you ready to record the intro?
Yes, sir. Opening the file now. This is gonna be... What the actual fuck is going on here?
What? What could possibly be wrong?
This! It's a damn limerick.
Okay, what's wrong? Is it the weird rhymes thing again?
No, it's just a limerick.
Okay, they write one for every episode.
Did you even listen last week? They wrote that whole rap thing for Tan, and everybody's falling over themselves saying how amazing she was.
Yeah, so?
Well, maybe I want to rap too. Where's my rap, Al?
Matt, it was like an homage to Katie's rap Cold Open. That's why Tan did it.
Whose side are you on?
I'm on the side that records the intro so we can start the show.
See, I know what's up. He's not fooling anyone.
What?
Come on, he's sandbagging me, Grego.
Who?
Trace. Obviously doesn't think I can rap.
So now you got an axe to grind with Tate and Webb, the nice folks who write our limericks for the low, low price of free?
Oh no, not Liz. Love Liz. Me and Liz, we cool. No, it's Webb I got beef with. I'm putting him on blast. He's trying to take me down.
Matt, can we please just do the limerick?
Oh, you want me to do a limerick, Al? Okay, Al, okay. I got a limerick for you. Quiet on set. What's that, Trace? You think I can't rap? A Kiso shout out and I'm off your map? Hard to believe I'm up for debate. We need less Webb and a little more Tate. Now, how do you like them apples, chap?
You good, bud?
I nailed that.
I'm going to start the show now.
That fresh produce stand there, that's a beauty.
What do you listen to?
My favorite murder podcast.
Taggart and Torrance podcast.
The produce stand.
Fucking sexy.
It's Thirsty Thursday, and that means we are once again hanging out at the Produce Stand, a podcast paying tribute to everything in the universe. Now, I know what you're thinking. There are many other Letterkenny podcasts out there, but this one is not a wet Pomeranian. I'm Al, your host, and joining me in the room, as always, is the lovely Tanya. And online, we have Squirrely Matt, the very approachable Victor, and joining us tonight from Deltona, Florida. He's a trim carpenter, single father of beautiful Willow Rain. He loves to fish, play pool, practice guitar, become more of a cinephile. Please join me in making some noise for Zach.
Wondrous! Oh my god!
Oh my god! Oh my god!
Wait. Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god!
I regret nothing!
Welcome back to the Produce Stand. Zach, how are you now?
Good, and you?
Not so bad. Thank you so much for joining us. Right off the bat, I got to say your daughter's name, Willow Rain, beautiful, beautiful name. Was she named after someone or something?
Yeah, actually, she was, and I appreciate that as well.
Mhm.
But she was named after Willow from Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Okay. All right. That's not
Love
bad.
it.
Yeah. Better than what Harley was named after. We'll get to that later, but,
So good. So good.
well, this is you're not your first time on the podcast. You've been on Egg Hall Socials before, but this is your first solo episode. So we'll ask you the standard questions. When did you, first of all, where are you? Well, we've already established you're in Florida. So when did you discover Letterkenny?
It was, hold on one second.
Oh.
It's all good. I discovered it about 2 years ago. I think season 10 had just dropped.
Okay.
And I noticed it through Tumblr and YouTube clips.
Right.
And most notable being Wayne standing up really tall and stiff out of his chair when they're at the produce stand. And then and then the what really got me into it was that first cold open with the tarps off.
Right.
The shit talk. I love good shit talk and chirping.
Mm-hmm. Well, then Letterkenny's right down your alley then.
Oh, perfect. Yeah.
Very cool. And when did you discover this podcast?
I had finished the series, I think 4, or 5 times over at this point, and I couldn't wait for new stuff, so I went out of my way to, find other
Content.
avenues. Yeah.
Right.
And I found you guys, and I just fell right in, especially because that very first episode that you said you don't have to listen to this.
Right. Yeah.
Skip it. You can skip this.
You can skip this one. Yeah.
Mhm.
And I was like, no, I'm gonna go from the very first.
Wow.
And so I did.
And are you all caught up now?
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's a lot. That's a
Thank
lot
you.
of listening. We appreciate
That's
it.
overwhelming.
You guys have been in my ears every day for hours.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Terrifying, but I
So
appreciate the hell out of it.
We're the voices in your head. That's great. Amazing. All right. Well, let's get this rig rolling.
How are you now?
Tonight's lineup is Tanya, Matt, Victor, Al, and our guest Zach. We'll have the last word. Tanya, how have you been?
I've been busy.
Mm-hmm.
I've been really busy. It's been a long week again. So this week, I got to hang with Michelle. Oh my God. Did I do wrong? Katie.
Oh,
Katie, did I do it?
no, Michelle Mallette. That's right. When was that?
You
That
looked
was,
at me like who?
I'm like, Michelle.
Like, whoa.
I saw that
Whoa.
too. Like
With
had
my
a
brother?
You made me
conversation.
question like if I had her name wrong.
No,
Oh my God.
my-
You just like made me.
Yeah. Oh,
Okay.
you're right. We had Michelle Mallette on.
Oh, my God.
When was that? Monday or Tuesday?
Such
Yeah.
a sweetheart.
Yeah.
Tuesday. Oh, she is just so beautiful, so wonderful. I was stunned by her. She is just so lovely to chat with. And I love the little egg that she gave us about Kiso on the bus. And you'll have to listen to it. I won't say.
That was.
But
I'm so glad I brought that.
That
photo up,
was
'cause
like
it
a
was worth every
lovely.
bit.
Yeah, that was a great interview. And thank you again, Michelle, because that was wonderful.
Yep.
This week we've also started a new show, which is, I don't remember the name of it.
Oh, the kids are the worst or something like that.
Kids are the worst?
It's the other new metric media sitcom.
Kids ruin everything.
That's it.
That's
Kids
it.
ruin everything. Oh,
Yeah.
man.
I feel like
we watched 2 episodes when it first aired, and
Yeah.
we said, you know what, we lived this already,
Right.
and I can't do it again.
Exactly the same. It's very stressful to watch. Once I got past the first couple episodes, I settled in and I'm enjoying it. But yeah, and if you like your Letterkenny content, Gail's in there. Who else is in there?
but I'm feeling like I'm watching the episode, and yeah, the children are out of control, especially that little girl. But in
I would have given her up for adoption.
but in a way, it's just making me feel like a better parent somehow. That other people have gone through this to the point where they have a show on it, and it's
Bar's
like
pretty low,
oh. Yeah. So yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. Anyways, we've been enjoying the show, and then tonight we did something new, and this year is all about trying new things. And
Sounds
tonight,
kinky.
right?
Al, that means no
Yeah, it is.
yes to everything else.
Heyo.
Pickled some balls tonight, boys. So yeah, we went over to our community center, and they had a drop in for pickleball, all ages, and took the fam and enjoyed some activity, which was fun. It was like
You're that old now, eh? You're playing pickleball.
So that's
Congratulations,
playing.
guys.
So that's playing like ping pong, but on the wrong table.
it's
on a court. So it's like using the big remote when you watch TV.
yeah, never have I ever played the game before, so there was a lot of lessons to learn. Thankfully, our son taken a course or something in high
I think
school.
he learned it in the high school gym or something. Yeah.
And so he was our teacher.
Of course.
He took a course. He took a course called gym. That was the course that he took. Gym course. And we had a lot of fun tonight. There was a lot of people that were trying to teach us, and balls were flying everywhere, but we had a good time, and we'll try it again next week, maybe.
That's because you're not wearing the right underwear.
No,
I bet you had a good time, Tanya.
She was very distracted. Anyway, Matt, how's your week been?
I bet Matt's balls aren't flying everywhere because he's wearing the right underwear.
You're assuming I'm wearing underwear at all.
Whoa.
Whoa. Here we go, boys.
It's the end of the day, Victor.
Phrasing.
The sacks come off.
Oh. Is that a happy hour thing?
No, my week's been my week's been all right. It's a new year. My little guy has been less of a hellraiser this week, so he's back to school, so kindergarten and stuff. But we are 4 days in a row where drop off at kindergarten went completely fine. He's got this little, I don't know if I talked about the book that he now has that his teacher fills it every day to tell us how he did that day. We're used to getting frowny faces. We've been getting smiley faces all week. So that's a good, he's been, I don't know, it's like a new year. Maybe this was his New Year's resolution. I don't know, but he's less an asshole this week.
Right.
We took him to swimming lessons and he actually went with the instructor and got in the pool without having a full meltdown. So I'm liking this version of him right now and I hope it continues. So that's been a positive. On a weird negative, Jen and I are trying to help a situation. So the other day I took Moose for a walk and found another dog wandering the neighborhood. And I didn't recognize the dog at first, but it turned out I did know them. And long story short, this dog has gotten loose a few times. The owner is a complete piece of shit. Very neglectful on this animal. And you could see it. And this is part of the reason I didn't recognize the dog because it lost so much weight.
Oh, wow.
No.
So when I ran into another friend who knew exactly who it was. He's like, "Oh, that's Micah, that fucking piece of shit again. Let the damn dog out. Let's go." And I had Moose, so I couldn't go with him. But Jen and our buddy went and returned the dog. And this guy basically told them, said, "Get the fuck off my property." Took the dog, and they're like, "You don't deserve it." He's like, "Well, then take the damn dog." Like he basically is at the point where he doesn't even care. So we're working with some of the Humane Society and stuff in the area to arrange some kind of intervention, have the dog removed. The challenge is she's a pit bull. And she is an absolute sweetheart of a dog, but I don't know what the rules are for anyone listening, but in Ontario, there are you can't have pit bulls. There's a lot of rules against them. If you do have them, there's very strict legislation against them. They've got a bad rap. So before we give any official information to authorities, we want to ensure that this dog is going to be taken care of, rehabilitated if necessary, and then rehomed and not euthanized. So we have found one organization who, right on their website, it says we have a strict no-kill policy. So we're in the process of getting in contact with them so that they can intervene and hopefully get this dog out of that situation as soon as possible. And hopefully, because she is an absolute sweetheart. Even Jen's like, if we didn't have the kids and had a bigger place, she's like, I would have taken her in on the spot. But it's a sad situation, but we're in the process of trying to help basically rescue this dog from this situation because this guy basically said, take her. So I'll have an update on that next week. Hopefully we have an outcome. But yeah, don't be a dog owner if you can't, step up to the plate.
Simple. Yeah. Especially a pit bull owner. Cause they require a little extra care and attention. And yeah.
Wow. So anyways, that's been my week and now I'm here. And this is great. I'm excited to have some fun.
Doesn't Rosie take care of pit bulls?
She rescues them in Vancouver. Yeah. Should call Rosie up.
I'm like, Rosie, who's Rosie? Yeah. I get you. A little far from Vancouver.
I mean, who's next on the lineup here? Oh, Victor, it's you.
Yeah. So you got to get her from the inner space into outer space, which is, the reality into the reality of the Letterkenny universe. Anyway, all right. Well, let's follow that up with something, I guess, less sad. I don't know. Let's see. So the picture. So there you go, Matt. So picture behind me right now that our listeners can't see is Michelle Milet. So that's a happy ending, right?
Yeah.
So that's a cat that was up for adoption in where was it? Kansas City.
Kansas City. Yeah.
And this cat was named after Michelle, and because of that special connection, it was adopted and cared for. So maybe the same thing happens with your neighborhood friend. What's that dog's name, by the way? Do you know?
Micah.
Micah. There you go. You said that. Yeah. Not to be confused with Leica, because we don't want the same ending for as we had for Leica.
Well, I don't know. I'm almost afraid to ask Victor. What do you mean?
I feel like you shouldn't.
No.
That's the dog that went the Russians sent into space.
Right. Into space. Gotcha. Leica. Yeah, I forgot the name. Anyway, how's your week been, Victor?
before they send Gagarin up there, they sent Leica. Anyway, week's been good. We had that very fun interview with Michelle, which was fantastic. You know, she speaks in such a soulful way about people. I would have if we chat with her again, I'd like her to describe pandas, because if she describes people in such a fun way, they're so silly and tumbly and whatever. I'd love her to talk about pandas. So that's going to be our
not hippos.
Because I mean, hippos are so majestic and dignified, but pandas are silly animals.
Dignified.
So I think
I don't think I've ever heard of a hippo that's a dignified hippo.
Dignified
anyway.
hippo.
So anyway, before you guys have a chance to interject. So let's see. It's been. I know I'm a little late to the party, but we're finally watching Fargo season 5. And we're about 4 episodes in, and it's fantastic, as most of the Fargo seasons have been. I think 4 is questionable, but 5 brings us back to what that show is about, and it's fantastic.
Wait, wasn't 4 the one Mark Ford was in?
No.
The only Fargo I know is the movie.
Yeah, no, there's a TV show as well. Yeah.
No,
is there that?
Yeah.
Is it based on the movie?
Yes.
No.
Is it then?
Well, yes and no. I mean, each season is a brand new story.
It's in the
and
same
none of
world.
the stories are related. And though the writers would like you to think that subconsciously they're related, but they're not. They're set in different times, different characters, and whatnot.
Bodies aren't going through wood chippers.
No, that only happens in the movie. Right. And so seasons 1, 2, and 3 are fantastic. Season 4 is just different. It's not bad. It's just different. And then season 5 brings us back to what's great about the show. I fully recommend it. If you guys watch season 1, you're going to fall in love with it.
It's on my list for sure.
Yeah. No, definitely do it. And then because of last week, I don't know why or how we said something about Lois and Clark. And so I started rewatching that series.
The original Lois and Clark?
So much. What's that?
The original one with Dean Cain and
Dean Cain and
what's her name? Carr? Something Carr, is it? Or I don't. Yeah, that one.
What's her name?
Yeah,
yeah, that one.
Hatcher, Terry Hatcher.
Terry Hatcher.
Yeah. I had a big crush on Terry Hatcher one day.
I mean, who
at
didn't?
one time?
Okay.
Anyway, so that's I'm loving it. It's so good. It's so good. It's standing up. It's not, some shows you can't watch them again, but this one you absolutely can.
Have you watched Superman and Lois?
Yes, I have.
What did you think of that?
It's okay. It's too, I don't know, something.
Did you watch Smallville?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Beginning to end. And that was good. I enjoyed that show. Good. Yeah, it was really the problem with I think the new one. There's some Lois is not. I just don't the actress that plays Lois. I don't know, and it's too. Sometimes it's too preachy, and I think there's some politicism in it. Like, just let us just make good shows without any of the hidden agendas. You know what I mean? Like sometimes leave that stuff out of the comic books. Let's just. Let's just enjoy the let us go into this other universe where we don't have to think about the problems we have here in real life. And you know what I mean? So,
okay. I'll put you down as undecided then for Superman and Lois.
No, like I'm watching it. I'm all up to date on it and I'll continue to watch it because Superman is
I hear you. And it's just more about the sons than about the, it is what it is. Great. Let's see my week. This weekend we had our second Christmas. That was with Tanya's family.
Oh yeah, I forgot about
the Christmas that we missed because everyone was sick. So we had her parents and sister and brother-in-law over, and that was fun. We had Michelle, obviously, again on Monday or Tuesday. This week's been a blur. Tuesday. Keep on mixing it. Yeah. And next Monday was supposed to be Olivia Stadler, but she has pushed us out a week. So it's actually the following Monday. So govern yourselves accordingly, but that'll be a fun one too with Olivia Sadler. She plays Olive in that first episode of season 12, but she's also a writer who's written on the International Women's Day, and she and Allie Pierce also did a lot of writing, like punch-up writing for Mary Ann and Betty Ann's scenes and stuff like that. So
International Women's Day.
Yeah. So that's fun, and of course they wrote that first episode of season 12 along with Jared. So looking forward to having Olivia on. And I didn't really have much else. I mean, this week's been kind of uneventful for me. Just been working a lot. So we'll move on to Zach. How have you been, bud?
Well, as usual, good and you?
Mm-hmm. Not so bad.
There we are. Let's see. My week, it hasn't been too terrible. There was a bunch of letdowns with my work schedule, in terms of being things were scheduled to be installed and whatnot, but it wasn't ready or signed off on yet. So it was just, I think two of the days so far have just been a complete waste of time driving back and forth. But other than that, we've been integrating all the furniture into walls. That's been fun. Yeah. China cabinet and everything. We got a pool table that's also a ping pong table, as well as a dinner table.
Okay.
I love that.
Yeah. We used to have something kind of like that. We had a bumper pool table that
was our
converted
first purchase.
converted into it was an octagon and had it was our dinner table, bumper pool, and it had a poker table.
It was great.
Yeah.
I had a poker table.
Yeah.
I got you.
It's being used right now.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah, so that's been good.
In your intro, you'd mentioned this, and I'm surprised Victor hasn't followed up. But you play guitar.
I haven't had a chance.
Well, what kind of music do you like playing?
Metal mostly.
Okay, so are you? I'm gonna
new metal or like metal, like old metal.
Both, Victor.
Because like the new metal guys think the old metal is really just rock and roll.
No, yeah, I agree. That's why I say both.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
You do have to separate them.
There you go. Do you play in a band, or is it just kind of in your spare time right now?
Just me. I've been doing it for a hobby since I was 13 or 14 years old.
Wow, that's cool. So, given the episode we're doing today, are you a country music fan?
You look like a country music fan.
Yeah,
so I think it's a fair question.
Surprised we're not all wearing cowboy hats right now.
The colored hair, all the tattoos, the lip piercing and stuff. Yeah, you look like you could be a country music fan.
I think so.
Fuck no, I'm so sorry.
Well,
I hate country. That's why I wanted this episode, so I could help kind of like shit on it a little bit.
I see. I think we need to make something clear here. We need to separate, country music, the stuff that the crap, or I shouldn't call it crap for those that enjoy it. The stuff that you hear on like country radio on the old radio stations. Like the Garth Brooks and Shania Twain, and all that kind of, basically all the name droppings that we had in the episode. From things like Chet Atkins, right? Like the musicians, the stuff that just makes you, the chicken picking stuff. Like you can't listen to that and say, I hate that. I mean, that's like, that's like looking at little kittens and, or puppies and saying, I hate that. Like the two things, you need to separate the two things, the musicianship from the derivative kind of crap that we get on the radios.
What do you say to that, Zach?
I say, Victor, you're silly.
Good answer.
Okay, Van Halen, all right?
That's not country.
Not country.
You can't hate Van Halen, right? And he had some of the best chicken picking, finish what you started, as an example. Yeah, listen to the music, listen to the guitar part of Finish What You Started. That's country. Like you know what I mean? Like you have to appreciate the musicality of it, but you
Victor,
don't have to.
I'll
enjoy
give
the
you this. I can't listen to country music recorded on the radio or anything like that or on Spotify. I just can't. I hate it. Whenever I go to my sister-in-law's place, that's all they play. I'm sitting, I've got my earbud in and listening to podcasts. But I have seen it live, played by great musicians, and it is different. You're right. Watching it live, played like a steel guitar player who knows his craft, I enjoy watching that. But if you ask me to listen to music on like to relax to or to do anything to, the only thing I could do to country music is kill myself.
All right. Well, again, like wholehearted.
Harsh.
I'll
Tanya did not like that one.
That might be a little harsh, but
I know this is Zach's segment, but I'll name like again, Wholehearted. Go listen to Wholehearted, right? It's a rock and roll song, but it's a country rock and roll song by the band Extreme that you may have not heard.
Yeah, and this coming from the person who loves Blue Rodeo.
But that's not country.
The rodeo is in the name.
Country.
It's not country.
It is
Blue
country.
Rodeo is 100%.
It's not. It's roots
country.
rock. It's
Thank you.
different.
It's
not
country rock.
Not.
It's like I'd call it Southern rock, but it's Northern rock.
Yeah, Southern rock is what it is. That's different.
Southern rock.
It's Northern rock.
All right, Zach,
just
Zach,
because they're
go.
in Canada doesn't mean it's not what they're playing isn't Southern rock.
Hold on, our man's trying to get some words in here. Zach, go.
Go ahead, Zach.
What I was,
He hates Blue Rodeo
When
as
I-
well.
He's never heard of a Blue Rodeo. He's in
don't.
Florida.
okay, we'll put it this way. If I hear country music, it affects my mood, and therefore, based
put.
off of that, now that it's affected my mood, it's affecting me. So therefore, I am double upset when I shouldn't be. So,
all right.
Okay, but you know the Letterkenny opening is a country song.
Yes, we know. Anyway, we're going to move on, but thank you, and I can't wait until we get into this episode.
This
Okay,
is gonna get good.
Let's move on to the Twitter roll call. Speaking of
Sit back and
support,
watch.
Yeehaw, they're going to get good.
Welcome.
Get it, boys.
New followers: Mary M. Campos from California, Ryan from Portland, Oregon, Beth Grixke, Rick Carter from Ann Arbor, Michigan, Jack Attack from San Diego, Amir from Toronto, Johnny Ooft, Jennifer Turner, Dean Giles from Portland, Oregon, Dallin Fruke, C. Pally Dinosaur from Las Vegas, Anthony Gaiman, Bruce H36, Daniel Seymour from East Midlands, England, Chris Clark, Leah from Shreveport, Louisiana, Bungee Gum Reaper, Sexaholic, Kevin Enders from Maryland, Elise T. Carpenter, Warehouse from Clemson, South Carolina, Molly Schultz from Minnesota, Andre, Paul Manhattan, Helen Glazier Megel from Henderson, Nevada, Sheila Hanmer from Spring, Texas, Bash Smart, E. Meyer, Malcude from Zaragoza, Spain, Benjamin King from Newfoundland and Labrador, Scott Rudder, Dolphin Realty, Stuart Stoneshaker, DJ Deuce from St. Cloud, Minnesota, Brian Robinson from Boston, Winter Has Come 2024 from South Carolina, AK Tone Loke from Illinois, Ronnie from New York, Maya Rose Romano, Boney from New York, Isla Derushka, Brody, Owen Krebs from Clarion, Pennsylvania, Joshua Eldred from Chicago, Lee Pagliari, Jason Lee from Illinois, Christopher Jones, Lily Rose, Hagel Gans, Dylan Scott from Nashville, who looks like he might have been a country musician, and Rachel Whitecheck. Thank you for following and hopefully for listening.
Previously on Letterkenny.
Last week, we recapped and reviewed episode 1 of Letterkenny season 12, live at Modine's. That episode got a fresh from all of us except Victor and Tanya, who gave it a clearance. According to our scientific Twitter poll, only 69.9% gave it a fresh. 26.7 gave it a clearance, and 3.7 gave it a compost. This week, we recap and review episode 2, season 12, Sun Darts. Have you done your homework, Tanya?
1.5 times.
Yeah, you watched it upstairs just before you came down. That's why you're late. Matt, have you done your homework?
I got it in, yeah.
Victor, have you done your homework?
What it is?
I've done my homework. And Zach, have you done your homework? I see it.
Multiple times.
Yeah, right there in front of you. Matt, we'll do that later on in the news section. All right, so let's open with the cold open. Squirrely Dan, Katie, and Wayne looking at the camera. Wayne says, your pal was telling a fight story that was obviously fake the other day. Katie asks Wayne how she knows it was fake. Squirrely Dan responds with way too much talkins. Then we cut to Squirrely Dan, Wayne, and McMurray sitting in front of the woodshed having a smoke. McMurray's eager to tell them his story, but neither seem too eager to hear it. McMurray waits patiently as the other two Hicks slowly light their cigarettes, and then they finally give McMurray the green light. McMurray kicks into his story of being down in Chilean Patagonia in Rio Serrano's finest piscina, and meeting the hottest Chilean Patagonian he's ever seen. She started Frenching him out of nowhere, and his unlikely story continues.
But then I feel a tap on my shoulder. I turn around and it's this great big fella. He grabs me by the collar. Had to be a foot taller than me. Couldn't believe how tall he was.
What was he, about 250 pounds?
He's 300 pounds or I'm a panda.
Big boy. It's pandemonium.
So I looks him dead in the eyes and I says to him, excuse me, big peppy. I'm busy this here senorita.
Uh-oh.
And he looks down at me.
He wasn't already looking at you?
And he says to me, you're either crazy or you're tough as hell.
What did you say?
I says, look me in my eyes, El Capitan. I might be a bit of both.
Unfazed Squirrely Dan comments that it seems like McMurray has a lot of conversations like this with really big guys before he gets into a fight. McMurray said it didn't end there. Wayne wishes it had. McMurray asks if Squirrely Dan doubts his story. Squirrely Dan asks him which one. McMurray's offended, and then Wayne chimes in.
Oh, keep your tits on, McMurray. Everybody knows this sort of shit happens down there all the time, eh, Squirrely D? Fuck, now that I think of it, almost exact same thing happened to me last time I was down Puerto Vallarta, Zona Romantica, eh, Squirrely D?
Who's Zona Romantica?
Oh, yeah. Puerto Vallarta's Zonas Romanticas.
Oh, that, Wayne.
See, I'm just standing there drinking a beer, minding my own business. Next thing I know, this great big prick walks up, kicks me right in the stomach. Oh, he was 350 pounds, or I'm a banjo catfish.
What'd you do?
Well, I caught his foot in the air, looked him dead in the eye, and I says, hey, muchacho, no bueno.
I believe he got that line from you. Anyway, now they have McMurray properly hooked. Squirrely Dan tells his story of the time he was down in Governadoros Valderes, and he was accosted by a literal giant, 400 pounds, or Wayne's a wet Pomeranian. Now that he thinks of it, the almost exact thing happened to Wayne last time. He was down in San Salvador de Jujuy. Except this time it was brothers, 7 feet tall and wide, says Squirrely Dan. Wayne and Squirrely Dan get on a roll, and McMurray is biting on all the stories, and then...
Nuevos Casas Grandes.
Vittorios de Conquistas.
Rosario de Norte.
Voltas Redondas.
Oh, he was 500 pounds, or I'm a Humboldt penguin.
600 pounds, or I'm a freshwater eels.
1 metric ton, or I'm a common house spider.
Golly.
I says, hey, amigos.
Compadre.
Paisanos.
Chum.
Kick rocks.
Mind your P's and Q's.
Smoke 'em if you got some.
What the fuck do I want when the caravan's got no fucking veils?
Wow. Is that right?
No, McMurray, for fuck's sake.
It's fucking fakes, McMurray's.
Well, how the fuck am I supposed to know that?
Way too much talking.
And cue the intro. All right, that's the cold open. Tanya, you just recently saw literally 10 minutes ago.
I did. I did.
What did you think of this cold open?
Oh, McMurray. It's just bloody hilarious. The tall tales that he tells, and I love that he was called out on it in such a playful way. Wayne and Squirrely Dan, telling their stories, and that's where you got the Pomeranian from. Didn't know where that was coming in, but thank you for that, for saying it twice. I love it. It's great. I have a storyteller in my family, and I recently called them out on their BS, and so this hit home for me.
This is your father you're talking about.
No, this was my mom, actually.
Oh, yeah, they're both kind of storytellers, aren't they? Yeah.
Yeah. Good stuff.
Matt?
Yeah, this one was fun. The scene start to finish. I like sort of the suspense at the beginning when he's ready to tell a story, and they just long, drawn out pause while they light their smokes and all right, let's go. That killed me. The exaggerations as they get deeper into their stories, how much bigger the people kept getting, actually killed me. And then I love at the end how McMurray thought it was all real, and they had to put him it's all fucking fake. But the real hero of this whole open, and there's a trend in this episode I caught, and I need to watch it again because I bet you there's more, was the Snatch reference. So, with the part where he says, "What I want a caravan has got no fucking wheels." That's a direct line from one of my favorite movies, Snatch. Brad Pitt's.
Oh, no wonder I didn't understand it.
Yeah, so it's such a random reference in there. But when he said that, I died. I'm like, I love they threw that. I don't know what the relevance to it was.
Right.
I think they're just having some fun. I've repeated that line for years. Yeah, A+ on that. That's the MVP of that open right there.
Wow, there you go, Victor.
Well, I didn't get the MVP of that for sure because
go back and watch. If you haven't seen the movie Snatch,
I've seen Snatch, but I had to watch it twice because I didn't understand it the first time.
Did you understand it the second time, or did you?
Oh, it's so good.
I know,
the
but
best part is, it's one of the few movies in my lifetime I've actually seen twice in the theaters because it was that good. I went back and watched it again, and I had the extended version on DVD at the time. And if you put on the subtitles, there's a lot of scenes when Brad Pitt's speaking where it just literally comes up as question marks because he's not actually saying anything.
It's complete nonsense. That's why I watched it the second time.
Yeah,
I watched second time, and I still don't understand what you're saying, dude.
No, it's. He said, "What am I going to do with a caravan that's got no fucking wheels?"
Okay,
that's what he said, but he said it in the Gypsy Piker stock. So, anyways,
okay.
Awesome.
Well, it's cool. It's a nice little Easter egg, I guess, for those that got it.
Yeah.
Anyway, I thought it was good. It was cute, a little bit corny at times. The thing I enjoyed about it the most is the references, or I'm not like a retired penguin or whatever.
A humble penguin.
Whatever, or I'm not a skinny panda or whatever the things were. Those were fun. I don't think I would have called it hilarious. It was amusing. It tickled my funny bone, but it didn't fully erupt into laughter.
Sure.
But it was good. It was a little too much talking, but it was good.
Yeah, awesome with a great.
But that was the whole thing.
Great point.
Way too much talking.
Yeah, and they accomplished it, and I agree with them.
Yeah.
Great point in the live stream. Awesome says the relevance is Brad Pitt is a Letterkenny fan. So the shout out to Brad Pitt, or to Snatch anyway, is probably.
I'm mad I didn't put that together because I knew that.
Yeah.
But that's a great shout out.
I'm
not awesome.
I'm a little bit with Victor on this one. I missed the Snatch reference, but and I also thought it was just okay. I mean, it was fun. It was amusing, and I loved how the stories were obviously getting more and more ramped up, and how McMurray's
it's the big fish.
Yeah, and
how big was the fish? The fish got bigger and bigger.
Good movie, by the way.
Yeah, yes, very good movie.
Very good movie.
Big fish.
Great movie.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the cold open. I mean, I would if I were just giving this a rating, I would give it a clearance. It wasn't spectacular for me, but it was good. Zach?
I honestly, I thought this thing was hilarious. Victor, I don't know what's wrong with you.
Zach is on tonight's just to show how disappointed
I love how he
Victor.
picks on me. Like you literally said the same thing, but he's picking on me. I love that.
You say this most silly things. I don't know. But no, I thought it was hilarious. The back and forth at McMurray's expense, and how he is always oblivious to this kind of shit. So they can do a whole runner in front of him, and he doesn't understand it until they actually say something. But holy fuck. Like when Squirrely Dan gets called out by McMurray for the oh, you think I'm making this up?
Right. Yeah.
Which times?
Yeah, exactly.
And then Wayne just like, just hold on. We all know this kind of thing happens. And then he says two lines and looks over to Squirrely Dan like, all right, you ready for it? And Squirrely Dan doesn't even say a word. He just looks at him and blinks, and they just fall into it.
Yeah.
Love it.
It was great. Yeah. Also, I can't remember the last time they shot in front of the woodshed. I feel like that's like one of the first few times we've seen that. And we've seen a couple of different locations throughout
in this
new season.
Yeah.
On the farm, but just kind of, different kind of locations. So that was
different backgrounds. Agreed.
Cool. All right, coming out of the opening theme, Wayne and Katie are at the produce stand. Katie wonders where Derry is. She didn't see him all the day before. Squirrely Dan arrives wearing a straw Mennonite hat instead of his usual farmer's cap. Both Katie and Wayne poke fun. He always had the Mennonite beard, but now he's got the matching hat. Wayne adds he just needs the BO. Squirrely Dan says that usually sets in after lunch. The comments about the hat continue.
Now here's Dan in this very smart chapeau while I'm still putting sunscreen on my ears like a sucker.
I mean, this guy's trendy. He's hip. He's happening.
Hey, pretty sure to wear that hat, you gotta be able to run a 4-minute mile.
You know, Dan, I'd pay you for some fashion tips, but I know how you Mennonites like the honor system.
You already smell like summer sausage.
This was a gift from Lavina's Dicks.
Oh.
Careful calling that a gift.
Hope you kept the receipt.
Call it a re-gift.
But fucking they run.
Squirrely Dan admits that the more time he spends with Lavina's people, the more he sees merits in that lifestyle. Hard work, peacemaking, general service towards others.
Yeah, and fucking pooping into a bucket in the yard.
Dressing for winter all summer sounds like a great time, Dan.
Hey, nothing like the prospect of shitting into a hole to make you want to shake things up a bit, eh?
Just then, a truck pulls up the laneway. It's Dickens. He gives Squirrely Dan one final zinger about his hat before he gets to business.
Pretty sure to wear that hat, you got to be able to throw a barn up on lunch break.
That's a great line. Katie asks Dickens what brings him by.
Yous have always known me as a mono-career man. The auctioneering profession has been kind to me over the years. The job is in my soul. But is it in my heart? The plot thickens for Jim Dickens.
What's in your heart, big fella?
Country music.
Country's music.
Country and western music, yes.
Is that right?
Now, my love for the boogie.
What, the boot scooting?
Yes, my love of the boot scooting boogie is no secret in these parts. But what I have kept a closely guarded secret is my lifelong desire to give it a run like Brooks and Dunn.
Get your fix like the chicks.
I'm good and keen like Jason Aldean.
Verse to chorus like Marin's Morris.
No restraint like Shania Twain.
Do it for the thrill, like Vince Gill or Faith Hill.
But see, I want to be better than good, like Carrie Underwood.
Then quit stalling, Morgan Wallen.
Get trying, Luke Bryan.
Seize the days like Lady Zays.
Y'all are so nice. Like Lee Bice.
I knew some of those. Dickens has a plan to jump in head first.
Brooks and Dunn are actually good.
Yeah, okay. Write a song and make a music video. Put it on YouTube and see what happens. Dickens says he knows how much the Hicks love country music. This gets a flat no from Wayne. This surprises Dickens, but they're farmers. They wear plaid. They shovel shit and grow vegetables. They live in the country. They quite literally exist in the heart of the genre. The Hicks just sit there stone-faced, not even a bit. Not one drill bit, not one bell pepper. Dickens is without words, but the Hicks finally relent a little bit.
But what? I guess I do like it a wee bit.
Well, that'll do.
One dab will do you.
Everything in moderation.
Small doses is all right.
I need all the help I can get. And when a friend asks for help,
you help them.
Thank you, friends. Now come, let's join the others.
Others?
Cut to the Ag Hall in scene 2.
That's my favorite line. Let's join the others.
And we find out who the others are. Stuart and Rold, wearing berets, sunglasses, and scarves, are standing on either side of a whiteboard. On it are drawings of a farm with animals and a cow with a guitar for some reason, all around the title Country 101. Their audience are the Hicks, including McMurray and Dickens, but no Derry. Stuart takes his turn to make fun of Squirrely Dan's hat. And then next, he asks his Hick audience who is familiar with AI. McMurray, surprisingly, chimes in. He knows it stands for artificial intelligence. This impresses the Skids. They were forced to use artificial intelligence, not because they don't have actual intelligence, according to Katie, but because their knowledge of country music is limited. Katie asks McMurray how he knew what AI was. McMurray says it's what porno sites use to know what you might jerk off to. Through the use of AI.
His honesty, I never get tired of it.
No. Through the use of it.
I missed that that's what he said.
Yeah, that's exactly what he said.
I couldn't make it out.
Through the use of AI on the dark web, the Skids were able to determine the two essential elements to constructing a hit country song. The first one is a unique hook, which must also be used in the title of the song.
Thank God times the countries, boys.
Dig deeper. 5 o'clock somewheres?
Deeper.
Save a horse, ride a cowboy.
Giddy up! And that particular title teaches us a valuable lesson in the process. Just because it's unique does not mean it can't be dumb.
Dumb is almost preferable in a unique hook for a hit country song.
Country and western.
We're looking for contagious dialogue here, people. Quotables!
She thinks my tractor's sexy?
Dumber.
No shirt, no shoes, no problem?
Dumber.
I've got it.
Beer for my horses.
Bingo! Or an activity, something that you all do, something along the lines of, I don't know, fishing in the dark.
Darts?
I was going to say that too.
That's mostly just smoking darts.
But it needs to be more catchy, more crafty, more clever. Needs to be more poetic.
How about smoking darts in the rain?
No, you can't do that.
Does that mean your dart would go out?
Okay, so you're smoking darts when it's dry.
Oh, after you dry to smoke.
Dry darts, blue sky darts.
Best darts are ones that swarms.
Hot darts.
Well, we're not trying to fuck darts, McMurray.
Well, I try anything once.
Smoking in the summer. Smoking in the sun.
Darts when it's sunny. It's
Sun darts.
our hit single shall be christened Sun Darts.
Dickens thinks it's perfect. The others seem to agree. Katie raises her hand. She wants to know what the second essential element to construct a hit country song is. The skids laugh and flip over the whiteboard. The other side is filled with dozens of words commonly found in country songs. Stewart calls this as much hick shit as possible.
The goal with number 2 is to trigger the emotions or tug the heartstrings of Hicks. And you do that by packing in as much hick shit as humanly possible. And at the top of that list should and shall be your mama and your daddy.
Hyper important to any hit country and western single. Your mama and your daddy.
Well, what are you supposed to say about your mama and your daddy?
Oh, the meaning is irrelevant. Of importance are the words mama and daddy.
So just your mama and your daddy.
Well, your mama and your daddy, or my mama and my daddy.
So it could be anybody's mom, or it could be anybody's daddy.
Well, it could be more than one mama and more than one daddy.
You've got multiple mamas and daddies. You're really rocking.
Stewart adds that everyone loves a good story, but the country music genre is impossibly forgiving when it comes to logic in the message. You've already got your unique hook, Sun Darts. Now you need only to insulate it with as much hick shit as possible.
Trucks?
Truck parts, even.
Dirt rodents?
Mutton, blue jeans,
Your favorite jean jacket.
sunsets, steel toes, swimming holes.
And there you have it. The formula.
What do we do now?
Roald and I will engross ourselves in manufacturing the song using AI, algorithm, and bots. Then we shall reconvene to shoot the video.
Here's something. My first time jerking off was to Shania Twain's midriff in the video for Any Man of Mine.
Let's go, girls.
Let's see. Where am I? Derry. Okay. Next scene 3. Derry walks into Modine's, notices an attractive woman at the bar talking to Bonnie. Riley and Jonesy are sitting at a table. They tell Derry not to bother. She's a babe, a mega babe, a 10-ski, a 12-ski even, but she's unavailable. Derry asks them how they know.
It's almost not worth repeating.
Well, what isn't?
What she said to us when we took a run at her.
You took a run at her.
Yeah, of course we did, bro. You miss 100 of the shots you don't take.
100% 100%
What did she say?
Well, we started with the standard. He's Riley. And he's Jonesy. And we're from Letterkenny.
And then?
She said they look like a couple dads from Teen Mom.
Really?
Then she said they look like if Doritos made humans.
Then she asked me if I'd ever been told that I look like Charlie Hunnam. And I said no. And then she said...
I said you didn't let me finish. You look like Charlie Hunnam's funhouse mirror reflection.
Almost not worth repeating.
You look like Charlie Hunnam if he was born in Chernobyl.
Last time I tried to wheel you.
I've seen better wheels on a Dodge Neon at the dump.
Derry has a bit of a giggle at Riley and Jonesy.
I should have looked this up. Who's Charlie
Hunnam? He's the
Hunnam. He's the Sons of Anarchy.
The star of Sons of Anarchy.
Oh, I never watched Sons of Anarchy.
He's Jax Teller, bro.
Yeah. He never watched Sons. He was also in that big robot movie. What the hell is that movie called? Anyway,
Pacific Rim.
Yeah, Pacific Rim.
Yes.
Yeah.
Fantastic
He's
movie.
an actor. You would know. He kind of looks. I always thought he'd be the perfect guy to play Kurt Cobain when he was younger. Now he's like jacked.
Yes. I'll have to look him up.
Yeah,
All
he's a good actor. Weird because he's British, but he's lived most of his life in California, so his British accent sounds weird. It's like a mix of British and Californian, which is just a bizarre. Yeah, you can't see it. There he is. See, Victor, can you see it? That's a picture.
Oh, that guy. Okay.
There you go.
So Derry has a bit of a giggle at Riley and Jonesy's misfortune. Then the attractive woman sets her eyes on him. She asks Derry if he's the really funny guy her brother was telling her about from the bar the other night. Turns out she's Mickey's sister, Harley, played by Amalia Williamson, a Canadian actress known for Northern Rescue, The Kid Detective, and Level 16. Derry plays coy, but she knows who he is. 6 feet tall, blue coveralls, cute curly hair. Riley and Jonesy are confused as usual. It's Daryl, right? He confirms. She's Harley, named after Charlie Sheen's character in Hot Shots.
Harley.
Not after the motorcycle like
Movie reference number 2.
Which I mean, I love that she's indignant that she wasn't named after the motorcycle, but she's named after Charlie Sheen character from a spoof, like basically a Lampoon movie. It's hilarious.
Amazing movies. Come on.
Yes, Matt.
Harley invites Derry to a party, and this makes Derry very happy. Cut to scene 4. At the farm, the Skids start producing the music video for Dickens' future country hit Sun Darts with the help of the Hicks. Through the use of polling, no doubt a shout out to our scientific Twitter polls, the Skids were able to determine the 2 essential elements in constructing a hit country music video. Number 1 is man stuff.
What's man stuff?
Come here, I'll show you.
Well, basically things that yous would do every single day of your lives, but things Roald and I may never do in the entirety of our existence.
Such as?
Fixing your truck.
Shooting skate.
Cooking meat.
Fishing.
Arm wrestling.
Just chucking the old pigskin around.
Just hawking a big loogie.
Starting a fire.
Maybe putting a little sunscreen on each other's back.
Swinging an axe.
Just take a nice dip in the lake after.
Chugging a beer.
Maybe a shirtless shoving match after? I don't know.
We are going to shoot you guys performing a plethora of man stuff.
An abundance of man stuff.
An overabundance of man stuff.
A superabundance.
But for now, just smoking darts.
I just got to say, the Skids pantomiming in this episode is great. Like, if you watch this episode again, just pay attention to them throughout. They're so on point in this episode. McMurray asks what the second essential element is. Just then we hear Katie calling Stuart's name. The camera cuts to her. Bonnie McMurray and Gail looking very sexy in cowboy hats and boots. Katie's wearing a leather bikini with leather chaps. So the second element is babes. Scene 5, cut to Derry and Harley headed to the party. Harley is from Donegal. She was told that if he ever gets to Letterkenny, this was a spot to go. She asked Derry if he sees anyone he knows. The spot is overrun with D-gens, including Jivin' Pete. Derry says he doesn't know anyone. Just then, Mickey excitedly runs up to them, still quoting lines from Derry's stand-up act the night before. Jivin' Pete and the rest of the D-Gen All-Stars finally notice Derry and call him out. Harley's confused. She says he said he didn't know anyone. Derry calls Jivin' Pete an acquaintance. Pete's hurt by this. There was a time when Derry thought he was a good guy. Harley senses the D-Gens are on edge a bit.
He ain't one of us.
One of who?
Us. Us or yous. Us and yous. We're us. You're yous. And we're yous. We're yous.
Wait, what are yous?
Us. No, we're all us. Except Daryl. The heck. Well, I'm a heck.
I'm a heck.
No, Daryl has a different name for us. What is it you call us, Daryl? Go on. Tell your new pals what it is you hicks like to call us. D-Gens. Sure. Yeah, I always thought I was a hick, but I guess I could be a bit of a D-Gen.
I'm a bit of a D-Gen, too.
You know what? So's Daryl. He's a D-Gen.
I'm not.
What? You're still in your barn clothes. Hey, a hot-ass girl invites you out to a party.
And your sister?
And you didn't even think to change out of your muddy rubbers.
Shit. On those rubbers.
Even more D-Gen of them.
But I don't mind.
You know, your hair's dirty and teeth are yellow. You got food down the front of your shirt and you even wiped your nose on your sleeve. The smell of darts on you is more overpowering than the manure stink. And then look around, good buddy. Like, you don't stand out. Hey, you fit in. Well, I think it's about time you start looking at yourself in the mirror like you always thought you were a hick, but you're a D-Gen.
A whole lot of truth was heaped on Derry right there. Scene 6, cut to Modine's. Everyone who isn't a D-Gen is gathered for the world premiere of Sundart's song and the video of the debut CD by Dickens, which is titled Tall Tales. Dickens gives a long speech about auctioneering being his job, but the amount of time he spent denying what is truly in his heart and soul, frankly, sickened Jim Dickens. He thanks everyone who helped him throughout the week realizing his country and Western music dream. The Skids remind him to thank AI and bots too. And without further ado, Dickens presses play on the Sun Darts.
Her daddy was a drifter, her mama just wasn't right. Her brother said forgive her, but her sister put up a fight. But when the moon goes down and the lights come up, it's a lonely one. If you need me, I'll be smoking darts in the sun. Talking about sun darts, talking about broken hearts.
Is that McCooey singing?
Talking about
I don't know.
truck parts.
I'm going to guess it is.
It's supposed to be, whether it is or not.
That's what I'm asking.
The video consists of Hicks smoking darts, surrounded by the babes, Katie, Bonnie, and Gail. Cut to the babes washing a pickup truck while spraying each other with the hoses. Then the Hicks tossing the football around. Then everyone enjoying a puppers while Katie walks away into the woods to start those Canadian forest fires, according to Tanya. Cut to the D-Gens dancing and partying, including Derry, who's having a great time dancing with Harley with his new group of friends.
Talking about sun darts, talking about broken hearts.
And we fade to black. And that's the episode.
And it's very quickly, Awesome's already cut me off. That's Jim Cuddy, apparently.
Was that Jim? Okay, that makes sense.
Another famous country song, Fade to Black.
Canadian singer.
Canadian singer from Blue Rodeo, Jim Carrey. Jim Cuddy. Jim Carrey.
Not from Blue Rodeo.
Jim Cuddy. All right.
Thank you for fact checking, Awesome, and keeping us honest, as
Yes,
always.
Thank you.
What's
that? Hold on.
Speaking of awesome, yeah. Speaking of awesome, congratulations on hitting over 250,000 subscribers.
That's crazy. Yeah,
Wow.
On the subreddit.
On the
That's right.
subreddit. Yeah, congratulations. Awesome.
Oh, that's amazing.
That's just, I mean, should we be congratulating her? It's just 250,000 like more
D-Gens?
headaches that she has to deal with. All right, we start with initial thoughts on this episode, and Tanya, you're first. What did you think of this episode?
There is a lot to unpack in this episode. Like a lot to talk about. May I start with saying I grew up on country music. Not only did I grow up on country music, but
I done grewed up.
I grew up. My parents named me after a country music singer, Tanya Tucker. That's how.
Yep.
That's how into the country.
I found this out later.
You did not.
That would have been a deal breaker, right?
You did not.
Oh, it's not going to work out, Tan.
It was past the return policy.
Yeah, I couldn't say no after that. Yeah.
You'd already told me you loved me.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. So I grew up square dancing, round dancing, cowboy hats.
Hold on. What's round dancing?
Round dancing is when you do it in a circle.
I've never heard that term in my life. Is it as a real thing?
A hoot nanny.
A hoot nanny.
Her parents, like, I've seen pictures of her parents at the square dances and her sitting.
See, I've heard square dance. I've never
Yeah.
heard round dance. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, line dancing.
Continue.
All the shapes
Yeah.
of the dances.
I'm more of a
I was
fan of
in those.
triangular dancing. But go on.
Yeah, I grew up with like Kenny Rogers and Dolly Parton and all the older and good country.
Okay.
Older is not good. Older is older. Good is good.
It was great. It was great. Anyways, so that's where I'm coming from. So that being said, I did come away from country when there was too many cars or dogs chasing after trucks, and it just got strange there for a little bit. And then I got back into country, and when Al's away, I do bring out some, because I don't want him to kill himself like he's just referenced that he would if he listened to it
It's
or
very
heard
thoughtful of you.
So I play it on my own when I'm on. Yeah. So there are a few songs that I still listen to. Anyways, this episode storyline continues, right? So usually we get one-offs, like the little snippets here and there of references that are tied back to an earlier episode. But this one completely and utterly picks up where it left off. Derry is still with the D-Gen. Or we know now that he's a D-Gen. And Wayne and Katie, Squirrely Dan has his hat. The one-liners in this episode were phenomenal. Like truly, truly amazing one-liners. I could literally watch this episode on repeat. There's so much to that you may miss when you first watch it that you will pick up the second, third, fourth, fifth time, because there is just there's so many great like laugh out loud moments. This and I truly do, and as everyone knows, I appreciate it when the Skids and the Hicks work together. That's what sealed me on Fart Book. That's how I crossed over to the other side,
to the dark side.
The Skids whispering, they're all their little whispers, and they're just bloody hilarious. They are so funny. Smoking smoking darts in the rain, and why you wouldn't do that, or having sex with darts. Like there's just so much going on. Oh my gosh, there is. Oh my God. And Dickens saying, pretty sure to wear a hat like that, you have to throw up a barn on a lunch break.
Yeah, that was my favorite line.
Loved that line
my favorite
so much.
Diss of Squirrely Dan's hat anyway. Yeah.
And Sundown, what's man stuff, and Rolled saying, come here and I'll show you. And there was also another one. Rolled said something about Dolly Parton. And he said working 6 to 9, which is her new remix of working 9 to 5. She says working 6 to 9.
No, he says he worked 6 to 9.
No, her new revised working 9 to 5.
Is it?
She has working 6 to 9 in it. You wouldn't know that because you don't listen to country. No, I don't. But yeah, her new revision on that is 6 to 9. So that's in there. Derry being a D-Gen, when he gets called out on him wearing his boots and wearing his overalls and being picked up by a hot girl and to go to a party, and he doesn't change, and the way he smells, and that moment was just so huge.
Yeah.
I think that was just such a heavy moment.
Derry had a whole bunch of truth dumped on him, and
Yeah. So it will be interesting to see where that goes from here, and how that progresses. But those are my first thoughts.
Matt?
I wouldn't say there's I know Tanny said there's a lot to unpack. There's enough to unpack is what I would say. I like this one. I think it's solid. From a storyline perspective, let me back up. What I like here is this one felt like sort of an old-fashioned Letterkenny episode with sort of a basic, simple concept of, hey, let's dive into country music and have some fun. But what they did well is they, at the same time, very effectively carried the story forward on the side. So I don't think they've ever done a really good job of doing both of those things simultaneously. And this one I thought was really fun because the country banter was a blast, whether you like it or hate it. Personally, I actually like country. I'm not a massive country fan by any means. I am very eclectic when it comes to music. I'll listen to everything. I go in and out of phases. It's not something that's a regular rotation, but I don't mind it. I will say that for the record. But I thought this was a
I don't
fun
see
approach.
any cowboy hats hanging on your wall.
No. I used to have 3, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
You had 3 cowboy hats? Okay.
How many cowboy boots?
How many pairs
No
of
boots.
cowboy?
No boots,
Just
eh?
hats.
No boots. Just hats.
The boot scoot and boogie.
Yeah, I'm not a boot guy. I don't do shoes. I could care less about my feet. Fuck them. But
Such a bizarre thing. Okay.
Dickens was great in this one.
So
He
great.
came out, his disappointment on his when they said they don't like country music, and his entourage, his how he just paraded them with stereotypes, absolutely slayed me. I thought that was such a good space, and he was so just blown away. And then recovery when they're like, well, maybe a bit, and then you see him like, okay, I got it's all I need. I'll take it. I thought that was really good. The banter all in it, and Tan, you said it. Some of the lines I think was brilliant. This was a really well written episode. I will say that. The banter leading up to the name Sundarts, I thought was really strong. Them sort of bouncing ideas around. It was like a big brainstorm session. Then they just is that aha moment of Sundarts. Absolutely killed me. And on the same one, with the degens with the you us bit, really made me laugh. It was so dumb. But when they're like, you, us, yeah, you're us.
Yeah.
Like,
there's a bit of an Abbott and Costello kind of routine there.
yeah,
that they did.
absolutely.
Yeah.
And it was perfect for them because they're the degens. But it was so appropriate. And I thought that was really smart. And then the music video, just, I couldn't help but smile the whole way. It was how did Jerry describe like they took a swing, right? And I think this one was fun. I didn't expect to get an actual video. I thought maybe a little bit, and then they played it out. It was a lot of fun to watch it all come into play, and really well done, to be honest.
100%.
Yeah, it was a very well done scene, and I like that it kind of ended on that note where you saw the tail end of Derry's story was fantastic. The only thing I'll call out too, the movie references. I was really loving these, and that's why normally I watch the show realistically 2 or 3 times before we do these. I only got through it once this time. I had a crazy week. But I caught 3 movie references. We've already talked about 2 of them. So there was a Snatch one in the cold open, the Topper Harley reference from Hot Shots. The more subtle one at the end, well, maybe it wasn't even that subtle, was Riley and Jonesy. It was a Top Gun reference, 100%. In the music video, they're standing shirtless in jeans with the dog tags on them, doing high fives. And so it was an absolute shout out to Top Gun playing with the boys while they're playing volleyball. And I love that. So I feel like I need to watch. Maybe there's more in there that I just have missed. But for whatever reason, this one, they decided to throw in some random movie references, and I'm for it.
Awesome. Victor, go ahead.
Yeah, I tend to agree with Matt. I think that there wasn't, I don't think this was a loaded episode. Like certainly not like we've seen in Shoresy. Like this almost felt like almost an incomplete episode, if you will, just because the last part was basically moving over to the music video, right? And I think the other thing that was a little reversed from the kind of old Letterkenny is typically what we would get is like two or three storylines, a major storyline and kind of 2 filler storylines. Here we got 2 storylines, but the filler storyline was the major one, and you know, the meaningful storyline was kind of hidden in the background a little bit with Derry,
right?
And you know, the continuation and kind of the gimmicky, kind of silly storyline was the one that we were in the whole time throughout. So you know, it was good. There's again all the references. I loved the one-liners, with the you know the kind of jabbering at each other with the hat. That was fantastic. That's the kind of stuff I love because it's the kind of stuff that I do with my friends and whatnot. So you know, that tender brutality, and I really loved it. Country, I love the fact that there was a music theme, and it was the fact that it's country music it's funny. I'm not a country music fan. Like I don't have country music on my playlist, but what I do have are these instrumentals. And you know, for anybody out there who just wants to, like Al, who wants to just shove country music all into one category, go listen to, let's say, The Clap by Yes. Yes is a band from the 70s.
I know who Yes is. Yes.
And Steve Howe was on one of the greatest, one of my guitar heroes when I was kind of growing up. And he has an instrumental. It's called Clap. It's called Clap, not The Clap. I know people are getting cringy, but it's called Clap, and it's absolutely fantastic. And there's no singing. It's just an instrumental, and listen to it, and it falls under the country category. And I challenge you to come back and tell me that you didn't like it. Right. So that's my challenge out there to everybody that says they don't like country. And as a guitarist, as a guitar player, I think it's important to have a foundation of every style in your repertoire, even country. And you go talk to any metalhead, any metal guitarist, and they will tell you about they will be able to play country for you, because it's one of the foundations that you need. There's no such thing as a country scale. You know, they have like the blues scale, and the country scale is interesting because it's really combining the major scale and the minor scale together, and it's really using your creativity and understanding what sounds good and making it, taking something that is very, I don't know, clinical and making it into something very interesting. So I love country instrumental music. I think it's fantastic. Stuff like, the stuff that Tanya grew up on, I can kind of leave it, but there you go.
Okay. I enjoyed this episode. Throwback Letterkenny, in the sense that they've decided it's a concept episode. They decided to take a topic and tackle it. They've done, reality shows. They've done social media, and this one here, they wanted to prove that country music is formulaic garbage, and anyone can write a country song and make it sound like the stuff you listen to on the radio. And I gotta say, the final result here, Sun Darts, I can see myself going over to my brother and sister-in-law's house and hearing this song, because they nailed it. They nailed it. And granted, I'm not a big country music fan, but what I heard in this episode sounds the same as everything else I've heard.
But Al, you can say that about a pop song as well.
Sure.
You can say exactly the same thing about a pop song.
What would be really funny to find out, if there was some truth behind it, that they actually used AI to write it. So they took their sort of brainstorm board, the title, the genre, threw it into like.
Well, I mean, the fact that they had, the fact that they had, legendary Jim Cuddy helping them out on this makes sense, right? So I get it, but at the same time, this was a song that was written just for this episode. It's kind of a joke song, but if you listen to it, it's no better or worse than any other country song that's out there right now.
Tobias, Sun Darts is a generational song.
Yeah. Like, I've already heard people, I went online, I checked out on like YouTube and all the comments saying, this needs to be on Spotify. I want to listen to this song over and over.
I just want to remind you guys, like the Bare Naked Ladies, they started out making joke songs. And, If I Had $1 Million was a joke song, and it became an actual song.
So I'm just saying, they absolutely crushed their thesis for this episode.
Yeah.
They did it. They did it really, really well. I applaud them. The storyline for Derry, I'm really loving that. But I'm also and again, I'm not a big country music fan, but I loved what they did with this.
And one more connection, in the 80s and into the 90s, a little bit until grunge kind of took over. Every metal band, rock band, metal band, always had to have at least one ballad on their album, just because it had to happen. And the heavier bands, the ones like Anthrax, they started releasing ballad songs just for the same reason, to show how derivative and stupid it is. And they started doing it. And it was
probably like their most popular songs.
And they were popular because it was new and different, right? Yeah. But
gotta pay the bills.
Yeah,
you need those.
Anyway, it was a lot of fun. I'm loving the Derry storyline. I'm loving, and again, that scene where Mickey and Harley are saying to Derry, "Why aren't you a D-gen? Look at you. You're dressed like one. You smell like one. Everything about you is Derry is a D-gen. The only reason he's with the Hicks is because of his history with Wayne and Katie. Otherwise, everything about him is kind of D-gen like.
But he doesn't do D-gen things.
Well,
doesn't he?
I don't know. Showing up on a date with poo on your shoes, is that not a D-gen thing?
Kind of D-gen. I'm really enjoying that. And again, the skids were a lot of fun in this one. Like the pantomiming throughout this whole thing was a lot of fun. Zach.
Huge fan of this episode. Especially speaking to all the one-liners and quips, especially about when Squirrely Dan's hat changes after the cold open, and it just goes on from there. Everyone just gives him shit over and over and over again. I can't get over that. I got to say, my favorite line was Stew Rats with the... I'm pretty sure to be able to wear that hat, you have to be able to pickle peas with ease.
That was a good one too. Yeah, they were all good.
But When he like giggles at the end when he says "E," like, and it just gets nothing like just nothing but not shaking head from Squirrely Dan. Every time someone calls him out, he's just it's like, damn it, like again.
Yeah, he had no response for any of it, but he should have seen it coming.
And as for the whole country aspect of this thing, I thought it was hilarious. Well, the most hilarious was the algorithm that when they flipped over the whiteboard, it is
perfect. Yeah,
that is. I read everything on there. I'm like, this is the most accurate thing I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, I took a picture of it and sat down and read it on pause just so I could make sure I caught everything.
Yeah,
that's what I did too. I took a picture of it and I was like, hold up, I got to see this. And everything is so on point. It's hilarious. It's given it's a music episode. I just like you, Al. I fucking hate country music. Like
open your heart.
In your heart.
So you appreciated what they were doing here,
more or less.
Yeah, perfect. All right,
but it was just the whole like, hey, I think it was like, pretty much the first 60% of the episode was them just discussing it, and then the last was the whole music video.
Yeah, and that video was so good.
It was so good, so well done.
Yeah,
the song the song also sounded like professionally done as well.
Oh yeah,
like to what you guys were saying, I was wondering the same thing. I'm like, did someone actually do like?
Yeah. Was anyone else thinking, like, when you saw the original sort of trailer for season 12 and you saw Katie walking through the woods in her outfit, I remember thinking, okay, wow, for one, but two, how does that fit into this season? Like, it looked so sort of fake. Now it all makes sense because it's a music video, but I'm like, I couldn't in my wildest dreams fathom how that moment was going to incorporate into the season.
I saw the three of them at once. I didn't see just Michelle Milet. I got to see Katie, Gail, and Bonnie all at the same time. So I was like, okay, let's
we're gonna.
I gotta say that leather bikini that Michelle was wearing, you should put it in the Smithsonian right beside Leia's gold bikini. I think it's just as iconic now. With the chaps, though. It's got to be with the chaps.
Al, you are 100%.
Oh,
yes, man. That is correct.
All right, let's move on to ratings. Tanya, what do you give this episode?
I do need to add that we didn't talk about Wayne with his boots off at the produce stand.
I caught that.
Oh, I didn't even notice that.
Barefooted Wayne, yeah.
Barefooted Wayne. I don't think we've ever seen his feet.
I feel like there have been other times where he's had his boots off.
Wait about 20 seconds
recall.
And we'll see if Awesome tells us we're right.
I don't recall.
The boots were at the shop.
His feet or his boots ever being off beside his and him having his boots off. I really appreciate that this the pace was slower. I was able to catch all of those quick-witted lines. I really, as I said, one of the other things was Fishing in the Dark. I think it was Rolled that said it, and it's one of my favorite songs.
Of course it is.
It is.
Damn.
Fishing in the Dark. I will play that.
I thought that was your bedroom routine.
I will play that song very, very loud and just go crazy.
No one ever would have thought that.
And I love when who was it now? Oh my gosh. It was Squirrely Dan when he was talking about Lavina
Dix
making his hat, but it made it sound like her dick made his hat. The way he said with too many S's on it. Anyways, everything was just bloody funny. It's a course of fresh.
All right, fresh. By the way, Tobias says, yes, we have seen his feet. Really? And Awesome says, yeah, Wayne raw dogs the ground pretty consistently. First time was in season 1 in Fart Book.
Oh.
Yeah.
I caught that too and wondered the same thing. So I'm with you, Tan.
I don't recall ever seeing it before.
I'm not sure our resume is strong enough to be doing this show anymore.
That's because you're not distracted by feet.
No, apparently not. Matt, it's to you.
Yeah, this was a fun one. Like I said, and you called it, this is a concept episode. But what they did effectively was carry a storyline along with the concept, which they don't normally do. Normally they stick to the concept, and that's basically all we get, with maybe some filler in between. And I think it was really effective. There was some of my favorite banter I've seen in a while. And big kudos to the music video, because that was so much fun. So to me, this was definitely a fresh.
Okay. Victor.
Yeah, so I think, with the dairy storyline kind of buried a little bit, and then in the end, it's kind of even buried inside the music video. I almost had to kind of think, wait a second, what happened? Did they make up and they brought Derry and his friends back and they're all in the music video? Or it's just they're taking their creative liberties by... We're in the music video, but then we're also getting cutaways of what's happening
at the party
because they're dancing, but they're dancing to the song that we're listening to.
Sure.
So I will kind of support you in that one. I was confused for a second. I didn't see the clean cut between the music video.
No,
and
they're in it. They're immersed in the video.
Yeah,
right?
I'm like, wait, they're in the. So I do give you that one.
Yeah. So I feel like they're dancing. Like what? Yeah. I'm very curious. Like I almost want to know, like what happened from him standing there in an awkward way, realizing that he's a DJ, to them kind of all doing the hoedown together. But somehow magically in sync, dancing to the same video that we're watching. So
magic of television.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing. Like, are they going to continue with that? Like, I'm very curious about what happens in the next episode now. I have not watched ahead. I am going to be watching just in time before our shows. But so I'm very intrigued. And I think that's a good thing about an episode, when it kind of leaves you wondering what's going to happen next.
Cool.
I think without the music video, this would have been teetering between fresh and clearance for me as an episode. But I mean, they went ahead and wrote a whole song and recorded a video with some of the most exciting eye candy that you'll have a chance to see in 2024. So I think, it's and
it's only January.
Exactly. So I think you're, you have to give it a fresh.
Okay. Zach, you had something you wanted to say about, the transition in the video from the video to the D-Gen party, or?
I don't know, man. I don't. I do know that they went into, I think it was maybe 2 scenes there at the end of the episode where they went through the entire song, but it was just the last 2 scenes where it was Derry and Harley dancing.
Yeah, I believe they cut right after Katie walks away into the woods. They cut from that to the D-Gen party, and they finished the episode on the D-Gen party. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, but they did go back and forth a little bit.
Did they?
I think they went to the D-Gen party, then we saw the video, and then the D-Gen party. And that's why it was interlaced.
Right, okay.
And that's what made it interesting.
Yeah, it was like, cut ins and whatnot, but I still thought it was strange as well. But,
all right,
it is what it is.
It is what it is. So it's my turn for my rating, and I give this one
wondrous.
A fresh.
Lord.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Wait.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god.
I regret nothing.
This is so obviously a fresh. Oh, and we have Victor's unicorn background and his unicorn stuffy.
Thanks for acting what my rating was.
Yeah, I mean, they presented their thesis at the beginning of this, and they knocked it out of the park by creating a song, an actual song, like from beginning to end with the video.
Just Zach, we'll get to you for your rating. It's I think Al is going to get to you once.
Yeah, we usually do the 4, and that decides the unicorn, and then we do our guest.
Okay.
So yeah, it's a fresh. I loved every bit of this episode, even though the subject matter is something I'm not a fan of. I like the way they tackled it, and I think they did a great job. So definitely a fresh. So Zach, unicorns in the books. The pressure's off you. You can give this one a compost because I know you want to. What do you give this one?
As far as music, maybe, but content wise, no, it's definitely a fresh for me. I love every part of this. I was just laughing from pretty much beginning to end, especially with McMurray getting fucking riddled in the beginning, and then it went straight into Squirrely Dan with the hat. Like it was just nonstop quips and jokes. Loved it.
All right. Next up, we have MVPs. This one should be interesting. Tanya, who would you give the MVP
this
of
is
this
hard.
episode to?
This is really hard. I really feel like this. There were so many superstars. There were so many great one-liners. There were so many people that did an amazing job. Dickens, like he really brought it this episode. Like he
in the music video, if you watch it, like he's like doing some heavy like hip thrusts and just a lot of like. Yeah, it's really funny. Watch him in the video. He's really good in it.
Yeah. Again, like so many great the skids, they nailed it. They brought it with their AI and their whispers. It's so funny to me that I still love them as much as I do, with not liking them as much as I did. Katie's outfit. Holy Hannah. That's
MVP worthy.
She really truly wow, girl. Like, wow. Like, bravo. That it was a great, oh, good Lord. She could turn me. I think she could turn me. So, I think I'm going to go with, Katie is my runner up, but, and Dickens gets the
Number
MVP.
One. Dickens.
Yeah.
Matt.
Yeah, I agree. This one's a tough one. Everybody brought it. There's so many great performances. I'll go with my honorable mentions and then my MVP. Some honorable mentions to me were McMurray. I loved his parts. He had some really good lines that just made me laugh out loud. And I agree with Tanya. Dickens as well. Another honorable mention. He really brought it. But the real star of this episode was Sundarts. The music video.
Really? Okay.
Why?
Oh, no. All right. No, okay. Yeah.
Whoa.
That's just it's a Victor pick, but okay. Sundarts video.
No, I think that one's Victor would pick the squirrel or chipmunk that ran behind.
Oh, the chipmunk! It distracted me too.
You saw that too, right?
Oh my God! I was like, chipmunk, and it caught my eye
about
both
making
times.
that my MVP.
Okay, well, let's not take Victor's.
Well, we may have just guessed it. We may have won the game.
Maybe this could be the first time.
Virtual high five.
No,
Not even close.
Not even close. Victor, what was your MVP?
You know, much like in the real world, and again, this MVP goes to somebody within the universe, not outside of the universe, right? So, and much like what happens in the real world, the people that never get any recognition are the true creative team behind the magic. And in this case, the creative team is AI, and that's who needs to get. Because did you see a single musician anywhere on the grounds, anywhere in the music video? No, which means that in this universe, this was 100% created by AI.
I really do hope that AI wasn't like a chat GPT or something was involved in the writing.
Sure
even if they tweaked it afterwards, but if they threw the concept in and see what came back.
I'm sure it wasn't just for copyright purposes.
When you think of the timing though, so this was shot last September, not this past September, but the September before. So that would have been what, 2022? So it was written before that. Was AI there yet to do
AI
that?
has been around for 20 years.
No, I know it's been there, but
ChatGPT is generally only about a year old. So
yeah.
But I even if it was already mainstream a year ago, I don't think they would have used it for writing this stuff. But in the universe, it was absolutely AI that did it, and therefore it gets my game stick.
And we do have a winner. Tobias
That's
guessed
right.
that accurately.
Tobias, I think, is the first one to ever guess a Victor MVP.
Congrats, Tobias.
You get my game stick, Tobias.
Let's see now. It's my turn for an MVP. Okay. I love that scene between Mickey and Harley when they were heaping all that truth on Daria. Unfortunately, it's a really short scene, but I really enjoyed that scene. I love the skids in this one. I thought the skids were a lot of fun in this one throughout the whole time. Watch them again. Like every time they're throwing out ideas, they're also pantomiming them, and some of them are just so funny.
The word of today's episode.
Oh, the
is
spitting,
pantomime.
The spit.
Yeah,
They're amazing.
The hawking a loogie or whatever they call it, spit and like
it didn't go.
The most. It was so funny. So I think I'm giving it to the skids. I'm giving it to the skids in this one.
Oh my god,
Zach.
No, I'm sorry. The hawk a big loogie, and they're both like.
Yeah.
Trying.
Nothing comes out.
Flaccid loogies.
No, it's definitely a fresh 100%.
But you're MVP. You're MVP.
Oh, MVP.
Yeah.
We did that already, Zach.
Sorry.
Tanya on this one.
Got my notes right here. My MVP is Dickens for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well deserved.
That was yours too, right, Tanya?
It was.
Yeah.
I wrote down Dick Skin, but
yeah, I mean and I loved that he was given something more than auctioneering to do in this one. I think this is also a nice gesture, I think, by Kiso.
Did you see him pull up in the pickup? Like he can barely, like his whole head is like all you see is like nose down.
By the way,
it's like they had him on like a booster.
Victor,
he's fucking tall. I've met the guy. He's tall.
Awesome says Flaccid Loogies is the title of your sex tape, Victor.
Oh, awesome.
No, Awesome heard me say that, I guess.
Yes.
Oh.
She's listening. I'm happy.
Did you guys catch the name of Dickens' CD is Tall Tales? I thought that was kind of fun.
I wrote down Tall Tales right there.
Yeah. All right. Let's move on quickly to some. Matt, did you have something you wanted to share with us?
Yeah. So last week, Tanya, you did your thing, and it was amazing. And of course, Tate and Webb, Trace and Liz wrote that fantastic opening, and of course, people spoke. So I wanted to share some feedback that. If I missed anyone's comments, I apologize. There was a lot coming in from all over, but it was big. So I wanted to share some of the comments that came in around your opening because I think it's great to celebrate such a fantastic moment in our podcast. So here's a few of them that I caught. So first off, we have, this is such an iconic moment for the Produce Stand podcast. Props to Trace and Liz for penning this gem and Tanya for bringing the heat. And that was from Cassie. We got a hell yeah, fuck yeah, simply badass from our boy Don. Tanya, your delivery of those amazing words was incredible. I had to keep reminding myself that it was you and not Michelle. Well done. And that was from Adrian. A couple new ones I found. If you guys voted for MVP of the podcast episode, Tanya would have definitely earned a unicorn. Best opening ever. And that was from @SkullPuppy11.
Thank you, Skull Puppy.
Yeah, thank you, Skull Puppy, for that one. It was a great comment. This one this one made me laugh. Fridays are for breakfast with Tanya, spit and fire, and that's from our buddy Mike Benelli.
I love that.
Another new name that I'm not familiar with, but I really like this one. I just want to say what an incredible job the writers of the opening and Tanya did. That took a lot of courage and talent to pull off. Had it been mishandled or lacking in any way, it would have been peak cringe. And instead, it was terrific. Great job. And that was from @AddledPixie. So thank you so much for your comment on that one.
Yeah, I remember seeing that comment too and thinking, yeah, that was a really good one.
Yeah, it was fantastic. This one was a quote from Aaron. Tanya's hard work, dedication, and commitment to this opening emanates with every syllable. The energy, pacing, and tone she puts to the spectacular words of Liz and Trace deserves everything. Blown away is an understatement. Bravo. We also have, and thank you, Aaron, for that one. That intro is straight fire, incredibly written and so well performed from our boy Joey. And then last three I have here were ones that made me smile a little bit even bigger. So this one says, the feature I didn't know I needed. laugh out loud, and that was from Joe Dolo. Going gold.
Dolo.
Another one from the crew. Who knew the hottest track of 2024 would come as early as January? And that was from Drew McLeod, editor for the show.
Who I think he just been nominated for a few Canadian Screen Awards. So
yeah, he got one
Drew.
for I think episode 6 of season 2, I believe it was. And I think there was a Letterkenny one there too. I didn't catch which episode it was, but well deserved. So congrats, Drew, on that one. And then the last one was simply an applause from the one herself, Michelle Milet. So she did go and check this out. So Tanya, fantastic job. Peyton Webb, fantastic job. Love it.
Well done. That was so nice.
That is amazing. Oh my God. My cheeks hurt from smiling so much. Liz, Trace, kudos go to you. Bravo. You did an amazing job. I'm just so thrilled that to hear those messages. That is just so heartwarming and appreciated, truly. Thank you so much to everyone. And I'm so happy that it came out and it sounded good.
And it wasn't cringy.
And it wasn't cringy.
It was not peak cringe.
No. All right, we're back. We're down to final comments, and actually, you're top of the list.
All right, Zach, thank you so much for coming out tonight. It was so great to go through a whole episode with you and get your insight and feedback, and it was wonderful. This was a great episode. I truly, it was a lot of fun. Like, it was just fun. And it was I'm a little sad with what Derry's doing right now, but other than that, the whole country theme and kicking back and having some silliness. It was a great episode. So thank you for this. This was fun.
Matt?
Yeah, another fun one. Zach, great to see you here, bud. I'm glad you're able to join one. I know you'd reached out to me a while back wondering about how this all worked, and I gave you the idea that you could actually be on the show, and I think you were a little like, really? And here you are. So I'm glad that you followed the flow, and we got you here. You didn't disappoint, and so happy to have you, my friend. The series season episodes 1 and 2, I'm really enjoying it so far. So we'll see what the rest of the season has to bring. So far, I've been kind of like Victor, where I haven't been watching ahead. Whether it stays that way, bless you, by the way. Whether it stays that way, we'll see. But really enjoying it, and also getting sad that we're almost at the end. But we're gonna enjoy every minute, guys.
Victor,
Zach, I really love the fact that you came on the country episode. I thought that worked out beautifully. If we ever get a chance, oh well, there you go. Yeah. If we ever get a chance to jam together, I promise we don't have to do country. We'll do Dream Theater or something like that. But really fun having you on, and I really appreciate your honesty. And looking forward to doing more in the future.
Yes, Zach, completely agree with my co-hosts, my panelists. You did a great job tonight. I'm glad we were able to resolve your technical issues off the top there. But glad you stuck with us and did this, and I hope you enjoyed it. I mean, you said you've had us in your ears for the last, I don't know how many months. I hope this was everything, you hoped it would be. And we loved having you here, and it was a great episode to do with you.
It's been more than I'd ever hoped for. This is great. It's been at least like 24 months, I believe, that I've been listening to y'all.
Jesus. That's amazing. That's
overwhelming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy.
I actually, it was only maybe up until November or something, until last year, until I actually saw your guys' faces. And then I was like, you know what? I have to find out if I can get farther in, like talk to these guys. Like I need to talk to them.
That's right. I remember you reached out on YouTube, and I'm like, yes, join us on the Discord. So we're glad you did.
Yeah. Thank you all for such nice comments. I was a little nervous at first, but y'all made this such a great experience, a smooth transition.
Yeah, so. we're all just a bunch of degens, so nothing to be nervous about here.
I appreciate you all for sure.
Awesome. I'm going to play us off here with, the only song we can play here, and it's called
Christian in the Dark.
Well played.
Sun Darts by one Mr. Jim Dickens from his album Tall Tales. Here it is.
Matt, pick up your guitar. It's G, D, C.
Daddy was a drifter.
And that's all we have for this episode. Next week, we will recap and review episode 3 of season 12, I'm a D-Gen, with our new buddy from Down Under, Jeremy. If you'd like to support this podcast, please tell a friend. Also, follow us on most social media outlets at ProduceandPod. Thank you for joining us. Now we're going to go smoke some snow darts since it's snowing outside. On behalf of Zach, Tanya, Matt, Victor, and myself, thank you for listening and have a great week.
Talk about teenage love and